Music. We all enjoy music of some kind. The very purpose of it all is to influence our emotions. Anyone and everyone can listen to music, but very few understand the breakdown of it all. Whenever I was 5 years old, my mother sat me down at a piano and taught me all there was to know about piano music theory. I learned at an early age that I felt happy when listening to a fast-paced song, and I felt sad when listening to a slow-paced song. I realized that music had a hold in my life, and I was excited about what it would bring to me as I would get older. I've been playing piano for the past 16 years. I started teaching piano lessons at the age of 18 and gained 12 devoted piano students. I realized that there are many, many talented pianists across the world, but very few are called to teach. But I'm thankful that I was one of them. Music is very therapeutic in my life, and it means a lot to me and my family. Many of my family members know how to sing and play the piano. Today, I hope to share with you the knowledge I have from my own past experiences and my thorough knowledge of helping you learn the basics of piano music theory. I'm excited to share with you my 4 key points in learning music theory. These steps will include, number 1, the piano's features. Second, we will learn time signatures and beats. Third, we will learn how to read music. And fourth, we will learn how to apply dynamics. For my first step, the features of the piano, we've got to know where things are and how to get to them and what they mean. Well, a piano has at the most 88 keys and at the least 49. A big difference, I know. But pianos are made for different things. A piano can be made for transportation, which is known as a keyboard. It can be made specifically for practice or specifically for performance and competition, which is very important to the pianist. Next, we have keys, pedals, and posture. These 3 things are vital to a beginner pianist and all the things that they need to learn. There are 2 types of keys, known as the black and white keys, and there's also 7 white key notes, which starts at A and ends at G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Total of 7 complete notes. At the very bottom of the piano, you have 3 pedals, and a pianist uses this to help their music sound more put together and not choppy. Also, we have a form of posture that we like to use. This is a form of piano etiquette and is held high in the piano world. Now that you know where things are, now you can learn how to play the piano. We're going to learn about beats and tempo. Every single note has a very specific beat and count that it needs. There are 3 main notes that we must learn because these are the building blocks of music. First, we have our quarter note, which is 1 beat, our half note, which is 2 beats, and our whole note, which is 4 beats in total. Next, which is very important as well, is our tempo. Our tempo tells us how fast or slow we need to play a song. And the time signature will tell us what the tempo is. Here's an example of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and we have these 2 numbers right here, 4/4. We call that 4/4 timing in piano. Next, we have our bass clef on this side right here, and it tells us that we're going to play the lower left half of the keys and the notes on the piano. And then we have our treble clef here that tells us to play the high side, the upper side of the keys on the piano. We play that with our right hand and our bass with our left hand. And the middle C on the piano in the very, very middle is what separates the treble from the bass, which is very, very important to many pianists. Now that you know where to find things on the piano and you know what types of beats there are, now you can learn how to read music, which is very vital as well to a pianist. Many pianists have mnemonics. With our treble clef here, we talk about boys and girls, which helps us say the phrase and help us find a note quick. We have notes on lines and spaces in the treble clef. We also have notes on lines and spaces in our bass clef. And we talk about animals in our bass clef, normally the birds and the cows. Another fun fact is we only use 7 letters from the alphabet on the piano, but we have a total of 12 notes because we include the black keys, which are also known as our sharps and flats. Now that you know where to find things on a piano, you know what a tempo is and how long to hold a beat, and how to read music, the last thing you'll get to learn is how to apply dynamics. This, again, is very, very important to a pianist. Dynamics, it's an assortment of being loud and then also being soft. It's very important to keep your audience entertained and focused in on what you're playing. It helps them not to get bored, and it really brings your music to life. We have two different signs in our dynamics. We have crescendo and decrescendo. Crescendo means to start small and get really, really loud. Start small and start soft and get loud. And then we start loud with decrescendo and we get really, really, really soft. And our voice gets small and our tone gets small on the piano. Now that we've learned dynamics, our fourth step, we can go over all of our 4 steps that we learned to learn music theory. We learned the features of the piano. We learned the time signatures and the beats. We learned how to read music. And lastly, we learned how to apply dynamics. I hope this furthers your interest and want to play in music and piano, and I hope you're able to take this with you. I leave you with a quote by Willy Wonka, and he says, "We are the makers of music and the dreamers of dreams." This quote reminds me to stay focused in my dreams, and that it determines how much work I put in to get to my dreams, and nothing else can stop me. I do have 3 questions that I'm left here. The first question is, what age should you start learning music theory? It's best to start learning once you're very young. Once you learn your numbers and your letters, it's best to start there between the age of 3 to 5. I started very young, but if you're an older age, you can always start music. Just be ready to work and be ready to open your mind to a lot of new things at one time. The second question is music important in our everyday life? I believe music is very important because it allows us to feel certain ways, and it really leads our emotions, and it can help our outlook in a day, which can be positive or negative. I believe that it's very influential. My last question is, does the genre of music make a difference in your attention span? I believe it does by far. I was put in a study in middle school. I had to complete math problems listening to classical music and math problems listening to rock music, and my classmates and I did better, and we were able to answer a lot more questions by listening to classical music, because the rock music and the rap music made our adrenaline go up and we were not able to focus. I believe it's very, very important, the genre that you listen to. That will conclude my third and final question. I have my works cited here, and that will conclude my speech. Thank you so much.